Hello, everybody. Welcome to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. I'm Jim Powers. Glad to have you with us as we continue to catch up with our coaches on a weekly basis here on MaryvilleSaints.com. And joining us is the women's volleyball coach, Chris Phillips. And, Coach, got that dreaded split again over the weekend, but still a good road trip on the road. First time you guys have been on the road for an extended period of time for a while, but a good split this week, and you get the match down in Drury and then fall a little bit short at S&T.
Yeah, it was a good weekend for us, yeah. Drury was a nice game for us. We played well, played consistent, and did some really good things. And then, S&T is just a good team. They're solid.
Talk a little bit about the Drury match, and obviously I think that's turning into Maryville's rival in almost every sport across the board, and they get a nice victory against Drury, and especially the way that the student athletes performed. That had to have been really satisfying on Friday.
Yeah, that was a great game for us. It was a lot of fun, and it was a good crowd. We had a good time with that, and so and the girls did. They played great. They did some really good stuff, and so it's good. We see a little bit more improvement every week, and as we can get better every week, then that's good. That's where we want to go.
And obviously, over the weekend, we had a record broke, and we talk about Allie every week, but she has just really, from the day she walked on the campus, has been that leader at the libero position, and she broke the school record in digs over the weekend. That was just amazing.
I think probably the most amazing part of it is she broke it in like a year and a third. She didn't even take her 2 years, when she barely got into this season and broke it. But, the good thing and bad thing about that is, great, she's got a bunch of digs. Bad because that means we need to block better.
Well, and we've talked about this. The libero position is, you just can't be out there to be a libero. You've got to be a tactician. You've got to know where the kill's coming from, where the swing's coming from, and Allie really just does a fantastic job with that.
She does. She can see the hitter. She knows where they're going. True liberos, no, they get it. They understand it. It's just like anything else in athletics. If you're gifted enough and you know what's going on, yeah, you'll get it.
Talk about the libero, because this is something that's maybe a little bit on the newer side over maybe about the last 8-9 years, to where there's that defensive specialist out there.
Yeah, libero basically plays defense. That's all they do. And so they can come in, they can serve once for the two people that they're probably coming in for. They're probably coming in for two different players. They don't have to do a sub. You don't get penalized for any of that. They just kind of come in and off the floor, kind of at will. If they do come off at some point, they have to just sit one play. That's all it really is. And then they're back in.
And they don't count towards your sub count that you have, during the match, which I believe is 15 subs. So that doesn't count towards your sub count.
Which is good for us, because we play 6-2 and we need every one of those. So
no doubt. And obviously, some other standouts over the weekend. The freshmen are just really standing on their heads right now for you and playing. So I'm using the old hockey terminology, but they're really, once again, coming in and making a statement early here in their careers at Maryville.
Yeah, Ashley Selman's really doing a good job on the blocking end of things. She's really started to figure out who to follow, when to go. There's a lot of good things about blocking. If you can block well, there's a lot of good things that get going there. And, Maddie gets better. She gets better every game because it's a learning curve a little bit. And so she's trying to figure it out. And she has. She's done a good job. She's kind of a sponge. And so whatever we tell her, she's kind of like, oh, okay, so she gets it. And they're going to get better every game that they play.
And mixing them in with the upperclassmen, Hannah, Laura, Taryn. I mean, it's just a good mesh out there of the veterans and of the freshmen.
It is. It's a nice mix, and we're still young, so which is better yet. With only basically the two seniors, you're sitting pretty good with that. So,
how does recruit? This is one question that somebody asked me when it comes to volleyball. How do you handle your recruiting right now, while you're in season, and a lot of states' girls' high school seasons are kind of going all together at the same time? How does that affect recruiting for you and getting out and seeing matches whenever you can?
Well, basically, we've already done our recruiting. Recruiting for volleyball is a year ahead. So we've already done our recruiting for 2015, and we've got most of them signed. We're going to pick up maybe one more, maybe two, but we've seen everybody in the summer, club ball. So that's why volleyball's a little weird, but we do
Sure.
Prior to them even starting their senior year usually. A lot of them are committed before their senior year starts.
Outstanding this weekend, road trip for you guys. Going to hit the road for a couple weeks, actually, it looks like. Talk a little bit about the upcoming trip.
The upcoming trip's going to it'll be good. It's William Jewell and Rockhurst. And Rockhurst is, at the top there, so that's a tough one to go. William Jewell is always tough. They're scrappy. So you have to play well, because if you don't, they'll get you. And, we're on the road for a month, so it'll be a long trip.
Outstanding, Chris. Good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Great. Thanks.
Chris Phillips joins us as she does every Monday here on our Coaches Chats. Glad to have you with us. If you want to follow all the action from out in the Kansas City area this weekend, make sure you check out our Twitter feed at Maryville Saints or like us on Facebook at Maryville Athletics. For Coach Phillips, I'm Jim Powers. Glad to have you with us here on MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week, and as always, go Saints.